Alright, in order to graph this, once again, I'm going to exchange this logarithmic format for an exponential form instead. So that gives me 4 to the power of y equals x. And again, if you want to find videos for how to change this equation into an exponential form, which for me is just easier to graph. Some of you may be able to do it straight from logarithmic form, and that's fine too. But seeing this like this will just, it's going to help most people to make the table, which we will do now. So notice the y is the power of 4, so those are the values we're going to have to choose. And we'll start with these 3 values, and depending on what we find, whichever x value is a fraction, that's the direction we're going to go away from. And that is because the other values would be fractions, which are going to become smaller and smaller until you get so close to 0. So let's go ahead and show the work for each one of these. So using 4 to the power of y equals x, we get 4 to the power of negative 1, which is 1/4. So we'll go ahead and put that into the table, and then we'll go ahead and start working on the next one, which is 4 to the power of 0, which is 1. And continuing on this pattern, we have 4 to the power of 1, which is 4. So notice the negative gave us the fraction, so we're going to keep going in the opposite direction of the negatives. So 1, 2, and 3. And we see that when y is 2, we have an x value of 16. And when y is 3, we have an x value of 64. This allows us then to go ahead and put these on the graph. So when y is negative 1, the x is about 1/4, something like right there. When y is 0, x is 1 here. And these are the only 3 points that I can put on the graph, so noticing that, we already know that as the y's become more and more negative, x will get closer and closer to 0 because it's an exponential function. So the line would come down there somehow, or something like that, and then it would continue on like this in that direction, because we know when y is 2, x is 16, which doesn't even fit on this graph here. So the graph would look something like this. Clearly, I've given myself too much room up here, and that's okay. It still fits on this graph just like this.